Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are talking about the latest episode of Married at First Sight. Now we know last week, you guys, that Dee and Khutso were going through their issues of, like they were mad at one another. Basically, just I feel like the one like Khutso thinks or Khutso's mad at Dee for one reason, and Dee thinks that Khutso was mad at her for a different reason. So as this episode starts, like I noticed that Dee is speaking to Uzi Tobile and Ukut was just quiet. And I hear Uti basically saying that Ukut has been giving her silent treatment. And when I heard that, I was just like, wait a minute, like, why are you doing that? Like, for me personally, guys, I agree with Uti. I don't think it's fair for people to give people silent treatment, because I think in my head I grew up with parents, guys, who used to give me silent treatment. And you know what? I have even felt at many times, or I had felt at many times, that it was better that they would just hit me than give me silent treatment. Because silent treatment, you don't even know what to do with the person. Like, should you apologize? Should you what? Like, it's just a different type of emotional manipulation. So I agree with Uti Lapo. But then I then understood when the episode progressed, I then understood why Khutso was giving her the silent treatment. And I'm just like, nah, man. Because when they're on the boat cruise, you guys, when Khutso eventually did try and speak and open up his mouth, was it not Dee was jumping into his mouth? She literally could not even give him an opportunity to speak. Even Uzitobile even had to be like, hi, like give him an opportunity to speak. And I think even on the previous episode, when I was reviewing the episode where Dee was introducing her friends to Khutso, she kept jumping in. Like, that's how I was saying, I don't know if Dee is not conscious of her surroundings or what is it. Like, she will just go on and on and on. And I think Ukutsu is just the type of person that overwhelms him. And he can't, like, be, like, bickering with you over, like, the fact that you are shutting him down. So I think he's the type of person, when people do that to him, he just closes off. And I think that's really what was happening, because he did say that the reason why he's being quiet and giving her the silent treatment is because anytime he opens up his mouth, anything he literally says then becomes a problem. And I was just like, yeah, like inzima lento. And though at the end of the episode, guys, they did seem like they did kind of fix-ish their problem, but I don't see this thing like going away. I really do hope that they go for counseling or get to see experts or something like that, because this problem is deep, guys. That thing of not being able to listen, and all, or you listen to like to respond, like it's a problem, because how are you gonna even like be able to respond in a way that is relevant to what the person is saying when you're not even listening to them? So D is bad at listening, you guys. Bad at listening, bad at giving people an opportunity to even speak. So I was just like, nah, man. And remember, guys, I said that I felt like these two people, because before I even heard them speaking, I'm just like, I low-key felt that Khutso was mad at Udi because of her baby daddy. But it seemed like to Dee, that was not registering. She thought that he was still mad over the cooking thing. And I was glad that Ukutso was honest enough, because I was kind of afraid that maybe Ukutso would not bring it up, because maybe he'd be afraid that he'd come off as being insecure. But I was glad, because I know, guys, the issue of talking about exes can get so sensitive that when you bring it up, then it comes off as if you being an insecure person or something like that. So I was glad that Ukutso came out, not Daba, and was honest that, listen, this is the thing that is bothering me, that I feel like her ex comes up so often, like almost each and every day we're speaking about her ex. And Dee was crying there, busy saying, a whole lot of things. But I kind of feel, guys, that I feel like one of the reasons, and this is just me, she didn't say anything about this. I kind of feel like the reason why this thing is a bit emotional for her is because I kind of feel like deep down in her heart, she knows that Khutso has a point. If your ex is still affecting you to a point that when you guys have arguments, when you guys have conversations, you lashing out on everyone, then there's a problem. Maybe you're not over that person, or maybe the type of way you guys are parenting is just not healthy. And it makes me then concerned for even like their relationship or their marriage, or her and Kutso's marriage or Kutso's relationship with the child. I, at this point, like knowing Dee for who she is or what I've seen her to be, I'm not even sure if Dee really is the problem with her baby daddy, or the baby daddy is the problem. I really don't know. So yeah, Kutso ended up saying that he feels like the baby daddy comes up oftenly, and Uti did say that she did feel like she was blindsided, and I saw that she did look as if she was blindsided because to her, I guess maybe she didn't even think that maybe Ukutso picked it up or something like that. But listen, not only Kutso, we can all pick it up, D. And I really hope as she is rewatching these episodes that she really sees what we are seeing, because if not, it's going to be a problem. And listen, I've been saying this over and over again that D has such a good man, you guys. I really do hope that I'm wishing her all the best, because I feel like the way she is, she doesn't realize the way she is. So I really do hope that she gets the help that she needs. Then the next scene, the couples are moving to their final destination. I actually thought the previous house that they were at, or villa that they were at, was quite good. But I guess Married at First Sight said, no, we are taking you guys to a better place. So they were moving basically to a different location or different villa or different house. And while they were there at the house, Uzitobile said something. She said that things are going really well for her and Utami. So I guess that visit that they had to the experts really did make a difference, because she said once they went to go and visit the experts, she's seen a different version of Utami, a better version of Utami. She's seen also a different and a better version about herself, because there's something about two people working towards the same goal. Because when people are working towards the same goal, then I believe both of them want to be better for one another. So I am happy for them, but I was happy for them. But in some of the diary sessions, Zitobile, I'm just like, is Zitobile convinced, or is she fully immersed into this experience? Because at this point, I just feel like she's going with the flow and she wants to give it her best for the sake of not having regrets. But I honestly don't think Ugutu girl sees herself, in the outside world with Utami. Because I'm just like, if you are that much in love and you're saying things, okay, maybe in love is a big word, but if you're saying things are really going well, then why is some of your diary sessions like saying Uti, like giving off the vibes that you're just not so sure of whether like you see a future for you guys? But then again, at the same time, I kind of understand that, because her and Tammy's problems, guys, can be like a deal breaker. The fact that Utami is not fully based in South Africa, that he is based in Dubai, that's a big thing. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me, if you were married in an experience like this, do you think upping and leaving your whole life, your family, to go and, start a new life with your partner, with your husband in Dubai or a different country altogether? Do you think that it's worth it? Do you think it's something that Uzutobile should even consider doing, knowing Utami the way she is? Personally, I don't think she's emotionally stable to be at that point, because I'm just like, if now mind you already Uzitobile, like it's difficult for her to overcome certain things. I feel like being in a different country comes with its own things altogether. So I don't see that working out for them. So I don't know, but you know what? They might prove us wrong, you guys. They might be that couple that we all were nervous about and might end up being one of the couples that end up being strong because with them, the advantage is that a lot of the things or the challenges, they had to deal with them from an early stage, as opposed to other people who might still be having things going well for them or going fairly good for them, and then having to, have those challenges later off in your marriage. So we will see what's what. But Uzitubile says kumnandi emshadweni. At the moment, she says that she's happy and she says things are really nice. So once they get to that new villa, you guys, there was a small pool. And Tepo basically was happy about the pool, and then she was like, it's small. So we saw like a mini nyana cute moment between Tepo and Usebenzile, where Tepo tried, she was like playing as if she's gonna push Usebenzile into the pool. And he responded by like carrying her as if he was gonna throw her into the pool. Like cute vibes, guys. Like those two always have like, your cute vibes. You can see like it's genuine type of things. But when Usebenzile was asked on the side, I'm not so sure if he was asked about, do you love her or how's the love going? He basically said all he knows is that he really does enjoy spending time with Tepo. He doesn't know if that is love, but all he knows is that he really does enjoy her company. And I'm just like, sometimes Sebenzile makes me nervous, you guys. Like when he is around everyone else and when he's around Tepo, like he seems, convincing. But when he has, like something about like small things that just make me think like, guy, like, are you really, really like fully like in it? So maybe, I guess, guys, it's only been 1 month. And maybe for some people to say that you love a person or to say that what you and a person have as love within 1 month is short for them. I personally don't think it's short. I don't think there's a time frame. Well, they could be, but I don't think 1 month is short to say that we really shared love between one another, because you know in your heart when something is really genuine, when you are feeling it. Never mind if the other person is feeling it, but from your side, you will know if you genuinely loved a person or not. Maybe he has not had enough time to love on her, but I was just like, his comments, I don't know, just seemed a bit skeptical for me. But I really hope that I hope that things, continue to go well for them. And yeah, their relationship is genuine, and I think they are the much more level-headed and mature ones in the group. And I guess maybe that's why even when it comes to their fights, that they are able to overcome their fights much more quicker because they have learned how to speak through things. And then, guys, they have this game, and any type of card game or question games really normally don't go well. But for a change on this show, they played a game called the Golden Envelope Task, and I think it went quite well. But one thing I want to say is that I noticed that Utami, guys, is a vibe. The way he was laughing throughout, this whole game and really enjoying himself. I'm like, he's not that bad as we think he is, He's not that full of himself as he appears to be. He's quite a fun guy, and, he seemed like a fun person to be around. So I think he like made the best out of the experience for himself. So I'm going to go through some of the questions that they went through that I think were interesting to me. And one being, D and Tepo were both asked the question of why they actually don't get along. And both of their questions or both of their answers were quite similar. So I want to say maybe they were being truthful to one another, which is that they don't really have a reason why they aren't close. And I guess, guys, it's like that with some people. You just don't get along with them. Not that there's beef or not, like there's just like there's no interest, and you're not willing to put in any effort to get to know the person, and there's nothing really deep there. So I believe them in asking that. But one thing I think has kind of affected Uti in her having a relationship with the other ladies, because the other ladies seem to have kind of a close relationship with one another, except for D. D does speak to Uzitobile, but it's nothing close. I feel like the reason why Ugel doesn't really have a close relationship with the rest of the other girls is that Ugel Pella, when she got married, guys, she was at the peak. Things were really going well for her and her man, and she was glued and cuffed to her man. Pelati and her man, like kinda like they're only having disagreements now. And that's when she kinda had an opportunity to kinda like open up or speak to Zitobile. But besides that, Ugal and her man are always like with one another. And I think that might be the contributing factor to the reason why she kind of didn't have a relationship or doesn't have a relationship with the other ladies. I personally don't see or think it's deep or anything like that. But Tepo, I just feel like maybe there's something else she wants to say, because sometimes with Tepo's eyes, I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe with Tepo is just not, or maybe they just not one another's vibes. Let's just park it there and, let that being that. And then Ukuma was basically asked a question, and I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just the way I see Ukuma. I feel like a lot of things Ukuma takes them like personal. Like she'll answer a question with like attitude, or answer question with like answer questions being sarcastic, and I'm just like, it's just so unnecessary. Maybe it's just me, because I don't think or didn't look like anyone there took like her responses like personally. But I'm just like, I just feel like Ugel takes things like so personally, and I don't know. But then again, I kind of do get, if that one did get to her, I kind of do get why it would get to her, because she was asked the question if her and Tabang have any future plans together. So I guess people have the perception of them that they don't have a future, that all they are busy with is just drinking and having fun. They don't have time for the serious things. So maybe that kind of got to her. Because for me, it did look like it was a bit like personal for her, but I get it. And then what was the next question? The next question that they were asked, they actually asked Utabai if you feel like Ukumo is marriage material. And he said, he gave basically an answer that said something about 50-50. But when Utabang was having his session alone, a diary session, so we call them, he mentioned something that I was just like, some men are just so confused. He was like, he did not get out of Kumo, or Kumo is not exactly what he expected her to be out. Like, he didn't expect his wife to be what Kumo is. He said Ukumo is more like a bestie type of vibe. They have a bestie type of vibe together, that she's more of a partner than a wife. I'm like, what are you even trying to say, sir? Because I just feel like some men, when they answer certain questions, they're really trying to be smart at it. Most men will be like, I want a wife. And then when a woman acts like a wife and expects you to do husband duties and do things that are do things that are generally and traditionally expected out of a husband, then all of a sudden they're like, no, I want a partner who's gonna help me, so now you got a partner, now you want a wife again. I'm just like, I suga, come on, please. Like, this is what you got. You signed up for an experience where you didn't know what you're gonna get. So sometimes in life you're not gonna get what you want, so please just make lemon juice out of the lemons. I was just like, please, please. But I guess maybe that one was not that deep for him. And then, guys, Utami mentioned something about, him having a daughter. I was quite surprised because I never really heard anything about it. And Usitobile said that she doesn't have a problem with the fact that Utami has a daughter, but her facial expression and her body language was saying something else. I actually do think Usitobile does have a problem with the fact that Utami has a daughter based on her previous experience. Apparently, she did not like her ex's daughter. And mind you, Tammy's daughter is a teenager, and we all know teenagers, guys, it can either go extremely well or either go extremely bad. And you know what? I think sometimes when it comes to the issue of children, like it's okay, guys, to say that I don't like dating guys who have children. Like, it's okay to say that maybe she could have said that, like, if that was so much of a big thing for her, or maybe it's not, but her body language says something else. She could have just stipulated it that I don't want a guy who has children. It's like it's okay. You shouldn't like feel somehow, or people should make you feel like at your grown age, like, or probably people at her age already have children. Like, it's her choice, and you as a person, you the one who knows what are the type of things you are able to bear or not. So Utami has kids. Utami was also asked the question of whether he's bisexual or not. And you know what? I give him a thumbs up, you guys, for the way he treated that question, because he's a Zulu guy, and I know for typical Zulu guys, they would have been offended by this question. I mean, a lot of straight guys, whenever you mention anything to do with being bisexual, they take it offensive. So I am so proud in the way he answered their question. I think it really speaks to how he is really comfortable in who he is, how he presents himself. And you know what? Kudos to him for doing that. Um, and the last thing I wanted to speak about, guys, is Ukumo's schedule. So the last scene, they were having breakfast and Ukumo was not there. She probably had to get back to work. Ukumo's schedule, you guys, seems really hectic. And yeah, when they were asked the question around, what are their possible deal breakers in their marriage or stumbling blocks, Utabang and both Ukumo agreed that it is her working schedule. So I am curious to know from you guys, if you were in a type of situation like this, do you think quitting your job to kind of build your relationship is like a thing, like is something that makes sense to do? I mean, now it's a bit early for Ukumo because I mean they're 1 month, or yeah, 1 month married. But let's just say you guys are 3 years married and you guys are locked in. Do you think that it's something reasonable for one person to quit their job because of their schedule? Because I mean, they can't spend time together. Like, I think it's just, I don't know. Or maybe if one person is making much more money, or if financially it makes sense for one to leave their job. Because I'm thinking about what someone said. Someone said that you are here for a good time on this earth and not for a long time. But I mean, your good time on the earth does speak to like how far your money can take you, because money does impact the experience and the fun that you get to have. So I really am curious if people out there really are willing to quit their jobs. I know people are willing to quit, or women rather, willing to quit their jobs to build their families, to grow up children. But if it was just you and your spouse, do you think that it is really a reasonable reason to quit your job just to build and have a much more wholesome experience or wholesome relationship, not only with your spouse, with yourself and with your loved ones? Tell me, what did you think, or what do you think concerning what I'm asking you guys? Tell me, what did you think of the overall episode altogether? Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys in the next one.